stunning looks than swift.
Wonderful game, complete game and a compelling game in Colombo, where Sri Lanka have eventually picked up their first points in the Super Fours of the Asia Cup, and the difference is just 21 runs against Bangladesh, whose abysmal record at the Premadasa continues. That's 12 games there now without a win, and Sri Lanka take the honours in the Nagin Derby 2.0 for this tournament. We look back at a game that had its moments, that had Tauhid Hridoy keep Bangladesh in it after they were supposed to chase what looked like a very solid and respectable 257, courtesy of Sadira Samaravikrama. Hridoy nearly cancelling out that innings, but the problem was there. Mushfiqur Rahim was the second highest score with 29, Mendes got 50, Nisanka got 40, and Dasun Shanaka led from the front with ball. 3 wickets for him, 3 for Patirana, 3 for Thikshana, as Sri Lanka continue to impress, and they have now levelled, or rather gone clear of that 12-match winning streak. They've gone to 13, second only to Australia back in their heyday. So this is a significant day for Sri Lankan cricket. We look back at that game on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Matchday, powered by JBL. Got Amol Muzumdar with me. We'll hear from Farveez Maharoof shortly as well. Good game that, and high intensity. You could see a lot of moments in it, but I guess fair to say Sri Lanka deserved the win.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel it was one of the better games to watch. You know, sometimes these low-scoring games are compelling enough to keep your eyes on the television screen. So I think it was just a fantastic game of cricket. Everything was really good. The bowling was equally good from Sri Lanka, and their fielding just lifted themselves.
Yeah, it just seemed like there was plenty at stake for Sri Lanka, and they played the better cricket. Farveez Maharoof now joins us. They, perhaps you could say, were lucky to get the win against Afghanistan, but how good was that in the second half, in the second innings from Sri Lanka, Farveez?
I thought Sri Lanka played really well right throughout the game. From the start, batting, we mentioned about 250. They've achieved that with the ball. We mentioned about a good start is needed. They got the good start, yes. The first probably 10 overs, there was no wickets, but then Dasun Shanaka come the man. He was under criticism for a long time about his batting, but he took the ball, he swung the ball, and I picked up crucial couple of wickets. And from that onwards, I don't think Sri Lanka was never in doubt, in my opinion. But Tauhid Hridoy, what a fantastic knock. I thought the youngster played really well. But overall, I thought Sri Lanka thoroughly deserved that win.
Yeah, now let's start where Farveez is picked up, because Dasun Shanaka's bowling has often been, it's almost a recurring theme. I don't know how many times you've discussed it like a broken record, Farveez. Why does he not bowl more? How decisive was his spell today, and why do you think things worked for him?
Raunak, I've been saying this for the last 5 years, and I've told him, I've told you, I've told every show that I did. He's somebody who has a very good seam position. I'm quite rare for a Sri Lankan fast bowler. If you take a look at the bowlers what we have in our castle, we don't have much bowlers who could bowl with seam up with that seam presentation. Dasun Shanaka showed it today perfectly. That's why he swung the ball consistently. For some reason, he hardly bowls himself, but today, there was something, got him to bowl, and what a fantastic bit of bowling. When he bowls, that it brings the balance to the team as well as the confidence to the player. And I hope this is the start of Dasun Shanaka, the all-rounder. The bowler who bats rather than batsman who bowls is important for Sri Lanka at number 7.
I think there's no point, Farveez, telling Raunak Kapoor about that. It's better if you tell Dasun Shanaka himself.
He watches our show, no? That's what we hope. At some point he'll watch our show. We're only hoping.
I've been saying this to him as well as all the shows that I did for the last 5 to 6 years. Yeah. I keep on saying it because I've known the potential of this boy, and I see it, much more. And the way he consistently swung the ball and the bounce he got from that Premadasa Stadium was very impressive. So I just hope this is a start of the bowler who bats at number 7 for Sri Lanka.
And you've heard it from the authority. Farveez Maharoof is the bowler who bats, so he's made the strongest claim possible. But as a bowler, you almost think like something has to go wrong for Sri Lanka for Dasun Shanaka to bowl. It seemed like Thikshana wasn't quite 100%, therefore he just bowled the 1 over, came back later, we're hoping the injury healed. But when he does bowl, Amol, with the new ball, even in the middle, it's not like he's just a part-timer who's filling in. There's something about him that even a batter is outfoxed, right? If you look at those wickets he got.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much surprised. Why doesn't he bowl, his regular quota of overs? I think he bowled magnificently today. He set up a couple of batters really well. He bowled those full pitch deliveries on the good length, and then one bouncer, one to surprise the batter. So he can set up the batters in that fashion. But I personally feel. Yes, Thikshana has picked up 3 wickets. Pathirana in the end picked up 3 wickets. But the architect of Sri Lankan's victory was Darshan Chanaka. Right at the top, 9 overs, 28 runs, 3 wickets, and Welage. Not to undermine his performance. He bowled 10 overs for 26 runs as a left-arm spinner and picked up 1 important wicket. So those two set the foundation. Sure. And then Pathirana and Thikshana finished it off.
Yeah, there's a really important wicket after that too with Mushfiqur Rahim, because that partnership was building. But till Tawai was in, you felt like that game is still not over. So let's just look at Thikshana at the end. I'll come to Tawai in a little while, Farveez. But Thikshana continues to be this champion bowler. Maybe he wasn't at his 100% today, but the final blow was dealt by him. Once he got Ridoy and Shamim, then you sense that the game was pretty much sealed. Good day for Thikshana. Must have been a difficult day for him, but he still managed to make it work.
Yeah, it's quite evident that he wanted to push himself. It's not never easy when you get hit in the thumb, especially for a mystery spinner. He uses the thumb very much to flick the ball just like that. And being in the leading spinners of the absence of Vanidhu Hasaranga, he showed why he's a mainstay for Sri Lanka. I mean, yes, he didn't have the greatest of day, but in the last couple of days he bowled really well. Today, he didn't have the best of days, but still picked up 3 wickets and completely agree with Amol what he said as well regarding Dunit Pellalage. That young boy impresses me every time he gets an opportunity, whether with the ball, whether with the bat, even in the field. So I think Sri Lanka is in a role where it's quite hard to believe. 13 games in a row, ever since we not doing well in the past, and all of a sudden you have a run of 13 wins. Just wow.
Yeah. And what this spell from Darshan Chanaka can also do for Sri Lanka is if he can translate this confidence into his batting. Yes, he got 20 odd today, I think 26, and then he tried to play that scoop shot. He can build on this confidence and gain it back with the bat in his hand. So I think that will augur really well for Sri Lanka. Coming the World Cup. It's very soon, about 15-20 days into the World Cup. So I guess if Sri Lanka have to be a threat in the World Cup, I think Darshan Chanaka has to shine with the bat and the ball.
Yes, Farveez.
I just want to finish up on a good point what Amol just brought up. When a bowler bowling well, and if he's not playing scoring runs, bowling well will give you a lot of confidence going forward. It happened to me personally. I've been in that shoe. When you don't score runs, when you start bowling well, you have that confidence, and you come out there and you just back yourself, knowing that you have done well with one part of it. That's the beauty of being an all-rounder. Even you fail with one area, there's always another area which you could go back and shine on. That's the best part of being an all-rounder. So I think this will give Darshan Chanaka a lot of boost. Yes, the 24 he scored can be the difference in the end, because it wasn't smooth, but he fought hard. And people might say that he could have gone on for a big one. Yes, he could have, but at the end of the day, this is part of cricket, isn't it? And with the ball, he picked up a crucial wicket for Sri Lanka. So it's a brilliant day for the captain.
Yeah, absolutely. And Darshan Chanaka and Sri Lanka will be tested further. It's a very proud record they hold now. That's 13 wins on the trot for Sri Lanka. But you think now their biggest test will come. If they can manage to keep that winning run going against India and then Pakistan over the next week, firstly the place in the final is theirs, and then that would be very close to Australia's record. So we'll see how they shape up. Then just to wrap up the chat on Sri Lanka's bowlers before I move to Bangladesh, the third of the 3 first was Matisha Pathirana, Farveez, and he seems to have Shakib's number. That's twice in 2 games. He's just missed Bangladesh's best batter, comes back, and he seems to be landing the Yorkers as well. Has Matisha Pathirana done enough to perhaps keep his place in the 11, even when you could say the regular first choice seamers are back and ready?
I think he will definitely take that flight to India with the 15. Playing in the 11, let's give it a little time, since we're not sure about the fitness levels of the three frontline quicks. But the boy, just for a 21-year-old, taking that responsibility of bowling the depth in crucial overs for Sri Lanka, he has done really well. I think the youngster is being guided properly by MSD when he started. But now I think Sri Lanka using him pretty well. But there was a time he was used with a new ball, which he wasn't successful. Now he comes after the 10 overs very comfortable with four fielders outside the circle. And you give him the ball in the death overs, he's just a master at it. I mean, I keep saying this about comparing him with Lasith Malinga. Lasith Malinga matured more when he was 25, 26. I played with Lasith ever since we was 15 years old. But with Matish at 21, the level of maturity he shows and level of variation he shows and the confidence is just magnificent.
Yes, please,
Amol. Small stint with MSD in the IPL has done wonders for this youngster. I feel he's just played beyond everyone's expectation, and he's unorthodox in his approach. But I think that small stint with MSD has done wonders.
And you, of course, have been part of an IPL coaching setup. CSK is revered as one of the best ones. He was backed throughout. He played in a final, in a thrilling final, and ended up as an IPL champion. You sense that has perhaps accelerated his growth?
Absolutely. I mean, just staying with the best, rubbing shoulders with the best, talking to the best in the dressing room, just gives you that boost. Not just in confidence, but in your skill set as well. You can learn so many things if you're amongst best company. And obviously, MSD is amongst the best.
Yeah, he's pretty much there. Let's have a look at the Bangladesh point of view now. Tawhid Hridoy, that is one to watch out for as well. We know he started his ODI career so well. He sent it 3 in one of the games, which we didn't quite understand. This is a role that he seems to be ready for, even though he's young himself, just 22 years of age. 82 of 97 in the game. Amol was still alive with Tawhid Hridoy there. That was an excellent innings. Just ran out of support, didn't he?
Lovely innings till Mushfiqur Rahim was there. I think 83 for 4. We all thought that this game might not go the distance. But, Hridoy just batted excellently. How many? 82 of 97, 7 boundaries and a 6. At a strike rate of 85. So I guess he batted exceedingly well, had a great partnership with Mushfiqur Rahim and got 72 in that partnership and just got Bangladesh interested and kept their hopes alive till Rahim was there.
Yeah, I guess the problem, Farveez, and you've seen a lot of Bangladesh cricket, they've now given themselves a really difficult task of making the final. You could still get in with 2 points and weather could impact the race to the final too, but Mushfiqur 29 today, Shakib 3. They've been just way too hot and cold with the bat, and fair to say the big boys just haven't stood up.
Yeah, fair to say that. I think the youngsters are taking a leap, as well as I'm quite surprised that the youngster Afif Hussain didn't make the cut. He's been consistent in their one-day setup, so that's a name that we could hear much more in the future as well. With Tawhid Hridoy, I saw the player in the Under-19 World Cup 2020 in South Africa, when Bangladesh won that World Cup. And ever since then, he's been a revelation for Bangladesh, even playing for BPL, playing for the national team, for the A teams. He's been spoken highly. And, today, the way he batted against the left-arm spinner, he knew Dunitha Lalage has been a tricky customer today. He never took a risk. He just wanted to milk him for singles, never took any risk at all. And he wanted to target the other bowler. So it goes to show, though he's a youngster, he is very well matured.
Yeah, and you saw that maturity. And if it wasn't for the mastery of Tikshana, who knows what could have happened in the end. They've just fallen about, 3 or 4 hits away. But as we go back to the first innings now, Amol, it seemed like it was somewhat easier to bat. Correct me if I'm wrong in the second innings. So now, how good is that Sadira Samara Vikrama innings that takes Sri Lanka to 257?
Oh, it was brilliant. It was just old-fashioned cricket, isn't it? Normal cricket. We are so used to the slam bang of T20 cricket. But at the same time, 50-over cricket demands a certain kind of innings. And Samara Vikrama, his innings was absolutely special today. He deserved 100. I said that in the mid-show, that he deserved 100. The way he batted, the way he carried the innings right throughout on his shoulders. I think it speaks volumes about this youngster. Yeah. So I think his innings was really special. only reason why Sri Lanka reached to 257 was Samara Vikrama's 93.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, and this is something fun that I enjoy when we do these shows just after a game. We also keep an eye out on the official presentation to see who's been player of the match, because today is a tough one. I'm all for giving it to the bowlers more often than not, because I think some of these batters like Amol tend to nick some cheap awards over the years, Farveez. Yeah, but I wonder, I think Dasun Shanaka has been named player of the match, and that surprises me, because I think today's the day that he could have gone Samara Vikrama.
I reckon if I'm in the commentary box, and normally the commentators
Yes.
do have that right of giving the man of the match, I'll be tempted to give Dasun Shanaka. I'll tell you why. Because that 24 in the context of the game is very important. Yes, Sadira Samaravikrama deserves thoroughly, but I just feel Dasun Shanaka definitely had a day on his birthday that he deserves it with 3 wickets, 24 runs, led the team well, fielded well. His bowling rotation was really good. So I just feel, it's a tough call, but probably 51% to Dasun, 49% to Sadira Samaravikrama.
Yeah, I was almost ready to go with you entirely until you mentioned birthday, and then I felt like you're just being nice, you're just being kind. But yeah, the Sri Lankan captain turns 32 today. So there you go. Would you have gone Shanaka or would you have gone Samara Vikrama for player of the match?
Samara Vikrama for me. Dasun Shanaka, yes. This is another confidence booster for the captain. And I hope he carries this confidence in the next games as well. But the innings, the special innings from Samara Vikrama was my choice.
Yeah, you get so many awards these days, you tend to be confused. But something has gone to Dasun Shanaka, but player of the match officially is indeed Sadira Samara Vikrama. So there you have it, but it was a close call, as Farveez Maharoof said, 51-49 for him. But well done to Sadira Samara Vikrama. Right, that is pretty much it. But just before I leave Amol and Farveez, Bangladesh, very difficult now, I guess, to make it to the final. They need a lot going their way. They just don't look like everything's working for them yet, do they?
Yeah, they've lost 2 games. So, it's very difficult for them. But Sri Lanka are looking red hot. Not just in the Asia Cup. I've said this in our pre-show as well, that if they can sort the number 6 and number 7 out in their batting order and can take care of the injuries, then they can be a real threat in the World Cup.
Yeah, their biggest threat for us will come in the next 2 games. Pakistan and India, with respect, they haven't quite had that standard of opposition in this Asia Cup yet. But do you think it's almost a good thing that they play Pakistan and India deep into the tournament with more and more things just coming together? You sense now this is a Sri Lankan side that can beat either 1 or 2 of those nations?
I think it'll be a tough test, especially against Pakistan, the number 1 team. They've been playing in Sri Lanka for a while. And India, in all fairness, haven't played much when it comes to being in the middle. When it comes to having a run around. It's nothing like playing in the middle. You can have thousands of net sessions, but a match practice is so different. That can be the crucial factor. But for Sri Lanka, I don't think in this form they play whoever they don't care. That's the way forward. And what Amol just said to the World Cup being to look out for. I like to play down a little bit. I like to go the dark horses. Never go as favorites. Go as the underdogs. And that underdog tags suits Sri Lanka very much. I remember in the last year's Asia Cup when I covered this with Raunak, I said that dark horse. You go out there, nothing to lose, everything to gain. Sri Lankan brand. You just go out there and play with flair. That's where Sri Lanka is dangerous. When you are having that tag of favorites, most of the time the pressure can take a toll on you, especially with a younger team. But I feel being underdogs, surprise few teams, and in a World Cup when you have 9 first round games, you just never know.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw how well that worked for Sri Lanka last time. I know all about that, Farveez. As an Arsenal man, you'd rather be an underdog and then exceed expectations. Is that it? Are you done? I forgot to bring up the United Arsenal result in like 2 shows so far today. It's been a few days. I was waiting for my next engagement with Farveez. So a good bit of footwork from Hassan Mahmood a little while back, right?
Hassan Mahmood.
Yeah, he could easily get into the United team right now, wouldn't he? Anyway.
Oh God!
All I can say is the teams I'm supporting at the moment, United and All Blacks, haven't started really well. So I'll give it a little time. Season is still early.
All right. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. I take that, Farveez Maharoof. Thank you very much. Amol Muzumdar, always a pleasure. And we will, of course, hear more from Amol and Farveez as the Asia Cup really heats up. And tomorrow, let's hope for this kind of good weather. We got a full game in Colombo, and we certainly would like that for India-Pakistan. We're going to have a reserve day for that one as well. So let's see that we get some kind of action, some kind of result. As Farveez says, India have really not had much game time in the center actually in this tournament. Let's hope that changes tomorrow. Join us then for Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Matchday, powered by JBL, and do download the mobile app if you haven't already. Good night.
Stunning looks, then swift.
Make sure you download the ESPN Cricket Info app to stay updated with the very latest from the world of cricket.